Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Arsenal. Time for the next match preview, and next up it's Bolton. I have never ever said that on this channel, but yeah, we are playing Bolton. It's been a long time. Remember the old Barclays Premier League days where the intro would pop up? You guys remember that intro of din 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 din? That one? Those were the old school days where Arsenal would play Bolton and then you'd switch the channel. Blackburn are playing against Man United and Chelsea are traveling to face David Moyes, Everton, and Burnley are new in the Premier League. They're about to face Birmingham. Like, those are the prime Premier League days, man. And we are about to face Bolton. A lot of things have changed since then. We don't have Fabregas and Adebayo and Van Persie anymore, and they don't have JJ Okocha and Ocampo, or is it called Campo? I think it's called Campo, and Stelios Giannakopoulos and Kevin Davis and all those guys. Football has changed. It's no longer the same. It's no longer the same Bolton. Really looking forward to this game. And the last 2 weeks, actually, the last 2 weeks has been difficult for us. Obviously, traveling to Tottenham, an away game, traveling to Atlanta, an away game, traveling to Man City, obviously, an away game. All those 3 games are very, very tough. And even before that, we had Aston Villa away, we had Brighton at home. None of those games have been easy at all. And I'm not saying this one is going to be easy, but it's a game I know a bit calm and you're expecting to win. And also, this is the first of 4 home games that we have in a row. Yes, Bolton at home, then followed by Leicester at home, then followed by PSG at home, then followed by Southampton at home. We can finally enjoy 4 home games in a row, and we can relax a bit. There's been a lot of pressure, especially in those last 2 Premier League games against Man City and Tottenham. But now we can take the foot off the pedal. But we can't actually. We actually can't take the foot off the pedal because this is a competition I want us to win this season. Liverpool and those guys, even whenever they were losing to Man City by 1 point in the Premier League and all that, the 2 seasons they did that, they were still like winning other trophies, so they are still feeling good about themselves. So I think that is what we need to do as well. Let's get in the habit of winning trophies. Even if you don't win the Premier League, you win the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, both of them. The next season, even if you don't win the Premier League and you go in the Champions League like Liverpool did in 2019, that still gets you excited and the players still feel like, yeah, we're still winning things and we're still trying to get this and still trying to get this one. That would be great. So this is a competition I want us to win. This is a competition we've never really done great at. I think a great team. I think the last time we won it was like 1993. So pretty much we've never seen Arsenal winning this trophy. There's been some heartbreaks against Man City and against Birmingham in finals, against Chelsea as well some decades back, but hopefully we can find this competition. So the last 5 seasons, our result in the Carabao Cup, that's one thing that people have always said, we always not get knocked out in the Carabao Cup and FA Cup early recently. To be fair, in the Carabao Cup we've been knocked out early, yes, but we've been knocked out by the big teams most of the times. So let's take a look at the last 5 seasons, us playing against whichever teams, like in the Carabao Cup. So last season we were knocked out in the 4th round. We beat Brentford in the 3rd round 1-0, and then the 4th round we traveled to West Ham, and West Ham absolutely trashed us 3-1. The goal came like in the 95th, in the last kick of the game. It should have been 3-0 to them. That was a horrible game. I remember Ben White scoring an own goal, Boyd and Cody's running us ragged in that game, and considering obviously we had that Declan Rice thing, having signed Declan Rice a couple of months back, and they still beat us. That was tough, and obviously they beat us again in the Premier League a month later. But yeah, last season we lost 3-1 in the 4th round, so we got eliminated very early. In the 22-23 season, we got knocked out by Brighton in the 3rd round, so that was our first game in the Carabao Cup that season, and Brighton came to the Emirates and beat us 3-1, so that wasn't great. That was just before the World Cup. The previous season, we actually got to the semi-final in 21-22. We actually played Liverpool in the semi-final, and they beat us 2-0 on aggregate. If you remember, we went to Liverpool, and I think it was Partey or Xhaka, one of them picked up a red card in that game. I think it was Xhaka, and we had to play with 10 men at Anfield, and we still drew 0-0. Maybe those were signs of how good I wanted our defense to be. I remember that was the first time we had gone to Liverpool and kept a clean sheet in a long time. And speaking of red cards as well, we've had some issues with red cards recently, but Liverpool beat us in the semi-final 2-0 on aggregate. So Liverpool was a big team at that time. That result could go anywhere. And then the previous season, the 2020-2021 season, this time it was Man City beating us. us in the quarterfinal, trashing us at home by 4-1, and we had just beaten Liverpool as well in the fourth round in the same year. So we have played a few tough teams, and also 2019-2020 we actually played Liverpool again in the Carabao Cup. We played them 3 seasons in a row in the Carabao Cup. This time we drew 5-5, if you remember that historic game, but we got knocked out in the fourth round. So the last 5 seasons we've been knocked out by Liverpool twice, by Man City, by Brighton and West Ham. Those are tough teams. 3 of those games have been at home, and we've managed to reach the semi-final once, the quarterfinal once, and the fourth round twice, the third round once. So we haven't even really got into a final. Hopefully this is the year, because looking at our squad, we don't fear anyone these days. Even if you play Liverpool and Man City away from home, these are games that we should be trying to win. I'm absolutely okay with losing to the likes of Liverpool and Man City over the past few years. Anything could have happened in those games, but the 4-1s or the 3-1s to West Ham's and Brighton's, we can't allow that to happen once again. We need to try to get as far as possible in this competition and hopefully win it. I predicted us to win this competition this season. So it's Bolton first up, Bolton in the third round for us. And Bolton, as I said, it's not the old Bolton, it's not the old Arsenal, but this season so far, Bolton, I just followed their game over the weekend. They were playing against Reading. They won 5-2, good result for them. But for the rest of the season, they've played 6 games. They are currently 18th in League One, and they've scored 7 goals. They've conceded 11. They've won 2 games. They've lost 3, and they've drawn 1. So a bit of a mixed bag. But one thing you can take from that is, yes, they can score goals, but yes, they also concede a lot of goals. On the thumbnail, there's someone who scored a hat trick for them, and that's the guy on the thumbnail. So listen, we don't have to look too much into their squad and their tactics and everything like that. I don't know about the tactics. I've not watched Bolton in a while, and maybe when they're in the Championship I can watch them, but League One we don't really get those games in terms of watching them. But listen, it's a game I'm expecting us to win, expecting to rotate a few players. After that, it's Leicester over the weekend. We need now to have a winning run. We need to get some wins going. Let's win 5, 6, 7 games in a row now. Most of our tough games are out of the way now. So which kind of squad would I go for in this one? How many players would I rotate? Let's get started. So this is my lineup for this particular fixture. So defensively, I've actually gone for Setford in goal. Neto is not allowed to play because he already played for Bournemouth, so it's either we go with Dwyer or stick with Setford. I wouldn't mind if Raya starts anyway. I don't think it's a big deal. He's had a lot of work to do over the last 2 weeks, but listen, maybe ARTETA would be like, nah, we don't want to take any risks, and maybe go for Raya, no problem. But I would go with Setford, but I wouldn't mind if Raya started. My back 4, I would play Calafiori, Kivio, Ben White, and Lewis Skelly. So there's a few changes there. Gabriel and Saliba, we don't need you in this game. Have a rest. You've been incredible this season as always. Calafiori is not played too much this season. That was his first start against Man City. Subbed off of Fleet wasn't anything serious. So I'm going to start him at left back again. Give him another 50-55 minutes in that game. Kivio hasn't played a lot this season. I'm so happy for him to come on yesterday because or come on against Man City over the weekend, because you don't want him to just sit on the bench, and then when you get a couple of injuries, you throw him into the team when he's not played for 4 months. You don't want that. So Kivio starts in this one next to Ben White at centre back, because Ben White only played the second half against Man City, so he did rest for one half. So I would play Ben White and Kivio at centre back, and then Lewis Skelly at right back. Lewis Skelly usually plays in midfield and left back, but I think he can definitely play at right back. But the thing with this team, you can change things around. That on screen right now, that defense, you can have Ben White as the right back. You could have Kivio and Calafiori as the centre backs and Lewis Skelly as the left back. You could also have Calafiori as the centre back and Kivio as the left back, and stick Ben White next to Calafiori. So our defensive players are very flexible, so any one of them can play in those positions. But those are the ones I would start. I don't know if Zinchenko is anywhere close to fitness. I don't know where the hell Tomiyasu is, so it would have been great to have those guys. But I'm happy to give Lewis Skelly another run out in this game. Midfield-wise, I'm going to go for Jorginho, Nwaneri, and Declan Rice. So Jorginho, self-explanatory. I actually would have rested Thomas Partey against Atalanta, but he ended up starting. I don't want him to play too many consecutive games. He looked very tired against Atalanta, and obviously we need to protect him from the injuries. Happy so far he's able to play. Nwaneri as well, gave him a start. Now let's see these coming games now. I'm happy to see Nwaneri more. The ones that we had over the past 2 weeks, Tottenham, Man City, very, very tough games, so it would have been crazy to throw him in from the start. But Nwaneri starts for me, and then Declan Rice starts because, yes, he missed the Tottenham game, and yeah, he's fresh. He only missed that one game, that tough game, and also don't really have too many players to play there. So I would stick Declan Rice there, and then maybe sub him off if you have a comfortable lead by halftime. You can sub him off, and then up front, I am going to go with Martinelli, Jesus, and Sterling. Now, my explanation: Sterling debut, rest Saka, self-explanatory. So I would like to see Sterling there, and then Jesus and Martinelli. Martinelli, I mean, that was his first assist like since March when he assisted Calafiori. It's simple. I just need Martinelli and Jesus to get their confidence back. Now, yes, doesn't really mean a lot if you score against Bolton and you're playing against Man City, but I need them to get the confidence back of scoring goals. Like if you played this game and Martinelli and Jesus are missing chances and they didn't score and you're struggling to win, then we have a big, big problem. But I'm hoping they can, get a couple of goals in this one. Jesus, Martinelli, maybe a debut goal from Sterling, and let's see how it goes. But that would be my front three. And that leaves on the bench David Raya, Gabriel, Saliba, Heaven, Partey, Havertz, Saka, Salah, and Kakuri. So Gabriel, Saliba, ideally don't want them to play at all in this game. Hopefully we don't need them. Partey, hopefully don't need him. Saka, hopefully don't need him. In terms of subs, we can bring on a Salah if you're comfortable, then replace him with Rice, or Rice off, Salah on. Maybe a Heaven can come on for Ben White if you're very, very comfortable in the second half. And maybe a couple of other players, maybe a Havertz or someone like that, maybe in the last 20 minutes of the game. Trossard is suspended, so is not there. And in terms of other players, we don't really have too many other players, unless Zinchenko is back or Tomias is back. It would be great to see most of the youngsters playing. But as I say, they don't want to, underestimate them too much to the point where you get knocked out at home to Bolton. That would be an absolute disaster. But I am confident with that lineup. I'm going to go with the big prediction. I'm going to go with Arsenal 5, Bolton 0. I'm going to go for Jesus to score, Martinelli to score twice. I'm going to go with Sterling to score on his full debut, on his first full start. And then I'm going to go for Nwaneri to score. Why not? So that is my prediction, 5-0 to Arsenal. I think it's going to be comfortable. I think you're going to now start flexing our attacking wings now after a tough week against Tottenham and Man City. We are now going to start seeing some goals going in over the next couple of games. So yeah, 5-0 to Arsenal. Let me know your prediction. Let me know which changes you'd make to the team. Which 3 players do you want to definitely rest in this one? You don't want to see them in this game? Let me know. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one.